You see, the first feast of the year was the Passover. And that, the blood of the Lamb that represented Christ, His blood, when it was painted on the doorposts and lintels of the homes in Egypt, the destroying angel passed by. That was the first occasion when the blood of Christ was used, to, shall we say, save people from destruction. And so it was most appropriate that He die on that occasion and that His blood go on the mercy seat. Otherwise, He would have had to have died up to 10 times if you said that He had to die every time they killed an animal and sprinkled its blood on something. Then He'd have to die every evening and every morning. You follow me? So the Bible is very clear on the fact that He died once for all. And that was accepted of God. It doesn't really matter if people accept it. It only matters to them and those who they influence, because the Father has accepted this sacrifice. There are people in heaven today because that sacrifice was accepted. In Revelation it talks about the 24 elders around the throne of God. Well, some Sabbath afternoon or sometime when you have a bit of time, it kind of exercises the brain to figure out who these folks might be. Now, Enoch, Elijah were translated. Moses is there because he was resurrected and appeared on the Mount of Transfiguration, but that doesn't make up 24 people, elders, if you please. These were among the first fruits, those who were resurrected when Christ rose from the grave. So the Father accepted this sacrifice. It's done, and you and I can take advantage of that, and we must take advantage of it. Otherwise, we're betraying. The God that loved us so much that He made this possible. And if you want to have a rewarding Christian life, dear friends, don't just take these things for yourself. If we do not share this knowledge with others, we will lose it ourselves. It'll go away. We must avail ourselves of every opportunity to share the precious jewels that God has provided for the strengthening of our faith and for our salvation with others. Because in doing that, we renew it over and over. God renews it over and over in our hearts. In the spirit of prophecy, review and herald, the 11th month, the 13th day in 1913, paragraph 11, it says this: when Christ came to this earth the first time, He came in lowliness and obscurity, and His life here was one of suffering and poverty. He was a man of sorrow, acquainted with grief. Men hid, as it were, their faces from Him, and at the last they crucified Him. Still bearing humanity, He ascended to heaven, triumphant and victorious. And then it says, He has taken the blood of the atonement, sprinkled it upon the mercy seat and his own garments, and blessed his people. Soon he will appear the second time to declare that there is no more sacrifice for sin. Probation is closed, it is finished. You and I are, I believe, within months of that point in history. There are 6 billion people on this planet, all of whom the Son of God died for. The task of sharing the words of life with all of these people seem impossible. But folks, it's not. It will be finished. Every man, woman, and child will be given the opportunity to see what the truth is and to make their decision, an informed decision, if you please, understanding what is at issue. You and I can determine whether or not we participate in that activity. And dear friends, if we do not, we will be lost. We will be burned an amount equal to the pain that we've inflicted on other people. And we will be as though we had not been.